Have you ever noticed yourself doing something, almost before you have decided? Reaching for a phone. Opening the same app. Making tea in the same sequence of small steps. It can feel automatic. And in a quiet way, that is exactly the point. Welcome to Curious Nights. Tonight's sleepy documentary is the psychology of habit. A quiet, practical guide. Not a life overhaul. Just a calm look at how habits form, why they stick, and how they can gently change. Our setting is a quiet workshop, late at night. The lights are warm and low. On the bench are simple tools. A wooden box of pencils. A small notebook. And the soft comfort of repeated motions. You do not need to take notes. You do not need to remember. If you drift off, that is perfect. The guide will still be here, quietly, in the background. To understand habit, it helps to start with kindness. Habits are not proof of laziness. They are not a personal flaw. They are a strategy the brain uses to save energy. A way of making life smoother. In the workshop, you can see why repetition exists. If you sand a piece of wood, you do not reinvent the motion each time. Your hands learn the pattern. Your attention relaxes. And the work becomes quieter. The brain does something similar. When an action repeats in a stable situation, the brain starts to chunk the sequence together. Less like a list of separate choices. More like a single routine. This can free attention for other things. Or it can simply reduce effort. A habit is often described as a behavior that becomes automatic in response to a cue. Something happens, and the brain learns, this is what we do next. Sometimes the cue is obvious. A notification sound. A coffee smell. The moment you sit in a particular chair. Sometimes the cue is quieter. A feeling. A little boredom. A vague restlessness. A sense of needing a small reward. The cue does not have to be dramatic to be powerful. And here is the practical part. If habits are learned responses to cues, then changing a habit often begins with noticing the cue. Not fighting yourself. Not forcing willpower in the dark. Just turning on a small light of awareness. In the workshop, there is a gentle principle. If a tool keeps slipping, you do not blame the wood. You adjust the grip. You change the angle. You improve the setup. Habit change can be like that. Often it is less about pushing harder and more about shaping the situation. So tonight, we will hold 5 calm ideas. Habits save energy. Habits follow cues. Habits are reinforced by rewards. Habits can be redesigned through the environment. And habits change best with gentleness, not pressure. Now we can step closer to the habit loop. A simple way to describe how habits keep running. It often goes like this: cue, craving, response, reward. The cue is the trigger. The craving is the pull toward a change in state. The response is what you do. And the reward is what teaches the brain, this was worth repeating. The reward might be pleasure, or relief, or comfort. In the workshop, reward can be very simple. A smooth edge on a piece of wood. A pencil line that finally looks straight. A drawer that slides without sticking. That tiny satisfaction is real. It is feedback. In daily life, rewards can be even subtler. A moment of novelty. A quick feeling of connection. A brief escape from discomfort. Many habits are not about gaining something big. They are about shifting feelings, just slightly. This is why willpower can feel unreliable. Willpower is effort. Habits are efficiency. When you are tired, stressed, or overstimulated, the brain often prefers the efficient path. It reaches for the well-worn groove. A practical, quiet skill is to name the cue without judging it. For example, I notice I am in the kitchen. I notice it is late. I notice I am a little restless. That is all. Just noticing. Another gentle skill is to separate the craving from the response. The craving is not wrong. It may be asking for rest, or stimulation, or comfort. The response is simply one way you have learned to answer that request. And sometimes, another response can answer it too. In a moment, we will talk about redesign. Not self-control as a battle, but habit design as a quiet craft. Like arranging tools on a bench so the work becomes easier. Like making the good path the natural path. Now we come to the most practical part. How habits can be shaped, gently, by design. Not by becoming a different person overnight, but by changing what is easy to do and what is hard to do. One helpful framework uses 4 quiet levers. Make a habit obvious. Make it attractive. Make it easy. And make it satisfying. Each lever is small. Together, they change the feel of daily life. Obvious often means visible. In the workshop, the tools you use most are placed where your hand naturally reaches. You do not hide the screwdriver in a distant drawer. You place it where it belongs. Habits can respond to the same quiet logic. Attractive often means paired with something pleasant. The brain learns faster when it feels a small reward. Sometimes the reward is immediate. A warm drink. A comfortable chair. A favorite pen. Not as a bribe. More like making the moment kind. Easy is often the most underestimated lever. When a habit feels heavy, the brain delays it. So one gentle idea is to make the starting step very small. almost too small to resist. A 2-minute beginning. Not the full task, just the doorway into it. Satisfying means the brain gets a signal that the habit mattered. Sometimes that signal is internal. A calm breath, a clean surface, a sense of completion. Sometimes it is external. A small mark on a calendar. A simple log that says, "I showed up." Another tool is a quiet plan. Not a grand plan. Just a sentence that tells your future self what happens when the cue appears. For example, when I finish dinner, I make a cup of tea. When I brush my teeth, I dim the lights. When I sit at the desk, I open the notebook. This kind of planning can be calm because it reduces decision points. The brain does not have to negotiate in the moment. The decision has already been made in a quiet hour. It becomes part of the setup, like placing a tool where it belongs before you begin. Now we can talk about the habits that feel unwanted. The ones that arrive when you are tired, or stressed, or looking for comfort. This is not a place for shame. It is a place for understanding. A gentle approach is to use the same 4 levers, but in reverse. Make the habit less obvious, less attractive, harder, and less satisfying. Not by punishment, but by quiet friction. In the workshop, you protect the work by changing the environment. You put sharp tools away when you are done. You cover the surface. You turn off the noisy machine. You do not rely on constant vigilance. You rely on a safe setup. For many habits, the environment is the strongest voice. What is within reach becomes what happens. What is visible becomes what is remembered. And what is frictionless becomes what repeats. So small changes in layout can have surprisingly large effects over time. There is also a calm truth that helps many people. Habits often become louder when you are depleted. When sleep is low. When the day has been demanding. When emotions need comfort. In those moments, the brain reaches for the fastest relief it knows. This is why self-compassion is practical. It keeps you in the craft. If a routine breaks for a day, the goal is not to punish yourself for breaking it. The goal is to return, gently, to the next small repetition. In the workshop, you do not throw away a project because one cut was imperfect. You sand the edge. And you continue. There is one more quiet lever that matters. Identity. Not as a label you force. More as a direction you practice. Each repetition is a small vote for a kind of person you are becoming. And that can feel steady. Not dramatic. Just steady. So habit change is not only about stopping. It is also about replacing. Keeping the cue, if it is unavoidable. Keeping the need, if it is human. and choosing a response that serves you more gently. Like choosing a different tool for the same task. Now we can gather the guide into a few quiet ideas. Nothing to memorize. Just a soft recap. First, habits are a form of efficiency. The brain builds routines to save effort. Automatic does not mean broken. It means learned. Second, habits often follow a loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. Noticing the cue is often the first gentle step toward change. Third, rewards teach repetition. Sometimes the reward is pleasure. Sometimes it is relief. Often it is simply a shift in how you feel. Fourth, environment design is powerful. Making a habit obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying can help it settle in. And reversing those levers can help an unwanted habit fade. Fifth, consistency grows best with gentleness. Small beginnings matter. Returning matters. And each repetition is a quiet vote for the direction you want to keep. Steady is enough. And now, we let the workshop become even quieter. The tools rest where they belong. The bench is clear. The light is warm and low. Nothing needs fixing tonight. Habits are just grooves. Paths the mind has walked many times. And paths can be softened or gently redirected. One small repetition at a time. If any thoughts appear, they can be treated like sawdust. Light. Temporary. Easy to let settle. No need to hold them. The night does not ask for productivity. Only rest. Only stillness. Only the quiet comfort of being here. This has been Curious Nights. The Psychology of Habit. A quiet, practical guide. And now, you can let the day end softly.